There we go, the stream should be starting in just a bit. I will, as usual, wait and make sure that the people can actually see what's going on my screen before I go any further. And as you may...
Good to me.
Alright, well then. Then we should be good to go. Right, Arthur Wolf here as usual, and today I'm bringing along Concordat. It's his first time guesting, so everyone be nice. And by be nice, I mean insult me and leave him alone. Because that's usually how it works. How many times have I seen
other streams?
Yes, I do know that you posted in my threads before, and you've been active in the stream chat, so... people should at least recognize your name, I suppose, if they've watched the stream before.
Let's see, T-Shift says, Arthur is dumb.
Okay.
That is what the stream chat has to say.
That's all they have to say.
Yeah, pretty
Arthur
much.
is a big dummy. Man, I can't get over how happy that dragon is. Every time I get to the main menu of this game, I make note of it, but just look at him. He is the happiest dragon in the world. He makes me happy.
As far as things that don't exist go, he is very happy.
Right. So have you ever played Dragon's Dogma yourself?
No, I have not. I'm not even sure what the game's about.
Well, see, you're this fisherman, or fisherwoman in case you customized your character differently, and you get your heart ripped out by a giant dragon. And then the dragon goes, if you want your heart back, come find me, asshole.
So you don't die instantly.
Yeah. That part is not really explained until later on in the game. So for now we've been working for the Duke, that is sort of the head honcho of the nation we're in, and we've been attached to the Worm Hunt, which consists supposedly of people hunting the dragon, but people are generally terrified of it and not doing much, so we are doing all the work, as is standard in an action RPG.
And by work, you mean killing rats?
We did kill quite a few rats, yes. But we did do other things as well.
Collecting rocks.
Yes, we did in fact collect some rocks too. But we did also fight against a Hydra and slay a Griffin.
And collect some pelts.
We did collect pelts. We also clumber all over an oxen. And we threw people off bridges and got arrested for it.
But did you tip the oxen?
Sadly, you can't tip the oxen. I know that this is a terrible oversight, yes, in this game, but at least you can climb them, and that's almost as good.
I'm assuming there's no cows, so...
No cows from what I've been able to find. Man, you are just finding flaw after flaw in this game. My own opinion of it is opinion of it is quickly waning.
So, are you rich thanks to the vegetable-based economy?
I am actually. One of the fastest ways of making money in this game is actually selling moldy carrots.
This is cool. I can take what the stream chat's saying and pretend it's something I came up with.
So, at the moment, I am basically leveling the sorcerer class because I want to be Gandalf.
A fat Gandalf.
Yes, the fattest Gandalf. The absolutely huge and fat Gandalf. But that's okay.
Gandalf hung out with very short people, so... A Fandalf.
Ho ho ho! Whoa. Who the heck set that guy on fire? Let's see, I haven't actually looted the chests in these houses. I should probably get around to that. We passed through this little mining town 3 or 4 times already, but Never actually got around to taking care of that business. Now, this place, though, for some reason, is full of spiders. It's never really explained why it's full of spiders, it just is. I guess...
No, T-Shift, a fat elf would be an alien. He's trying to come up with a modification of Gandalf's name to include the word fat.
Isn't just Gandfat enough? I was about to say.
Just a fat elf would be a fat elf.
Yeah, that doesn't work because then
It eats cats.
Yeah. Oh god, please. Just a thing. Please don't bring up Alf when I'm around. It brings back terrible memories.
Their kind hates ice and fire both.
I think T-Shift is having a bit of a mental breakdown here, saying spiders are traitors. Who will side with the insects despite not being insects.
That is a bit weird, isn't it? Well, there's harpies over there. Yeah, it's a flock of harpies. Jeez. Let me tell you about my dislike for harpies.
Oh, those are the half-human, half-bird things, right?
Yep. And the dicks
now, which
in this
half
game.
is bird?
In this case, the arms and the lower body. So they're the bad kind of harpy.
If it was just a bird torso with human arms and legs.
But then they wouldn't be able to fly, though.
Yeah, but it'd be freaky looking.
That would be a terrible harpy. I mean, it would just hop along the ground and peck at you with his beak, going squawk, squawk. It's a terrible enemy. Let's see, we
all
are...
female. That's the thing I never understood about harpies, is how they always tend to be all female.
Well, you know... Whoa, whoa, there's a griffin here?
Oh, that's usually bad, isn't it?
Oh, there it is. Oh, it's right. She was right. There is a griffin here. Let's see if we can shoot him down. Come on,
Aren't
griffin
they
boy.
noble creatures?
Hey, get down here, asshole.
I mean, they are part, what, lion and eagle?
Yep, the most royal creature there is.
So that is like double noble.
Yep. They're also super annoying in this game, because they're incredibly difficult to actually fight. Because, as you can tell, it's just, you know, flying around up there, and there's nothing I can do to actually get at it at the moment. Now, normally they will swoop down and grab an oxen and then fly off again. So you sort of have to time it so that you hit their wings with a flame-based attack just as they've landed, which will bring the aggro a bit. And hopefully you will be able to keep them grounded, because if they get too wounded, they just fly off. And then you have to leave the area and return at a later date and hope that it actually spawns again.
Brain Amp wants to know if you can ride them.
Yes, you can. You can grab onto them and they will fly off, and then you will fall off and die.
Oh, that's not quite what I was hoping for. See, my usual solution in many video games is to call it an airstrike, but I guess that wouldn't really work on a griffin, now would it?
Not really, no. There's an archer in there, and he's starting to piss me off. Whoa! Okay. Something just happened.
Did you die?
No, but I did take a shitload of damage.
Did you explode yourself?
It does indeed seem that the fireball somehow bounced off that guy and just exploded me instead. I'm not sure exactly how that happened.
I'm assuming you named these two fellows.
I did name your kid, but MacGruber is actually an AI character, believe it or not.
Huh.
Right, enough playing around.
And what was that?
That was Bolide, which is basically meteor rain. Only in the shape of giant fireballs.
Close enough to an airstrike.
Yeah, and then there's High Bolide, which is basically if you channel it for a bit longer, you get even more fireballs that do even more area damage. See, magic in this game is pretty interestingly balanced and very linear in that you start with the usual single-shot fireball, and then once you start leveling up the sorcerer job, so to speak, you start getting awfully damaging spells with awfully large areas of effect.
So, can you just switch between jobs freely, or is there a penalty for doing so?
There is no penalty whatsoever, in fact. You just lose access to your class-based skills, naturally.
So, the Final Fantasy V approach?
Yep. I can see that that particular Bolide decided not to hit anything for some reason. Unfortunate. Let's use a fireball instead. A standard fireball.
You see, the thing is that after I played Mercenaries, in just about every open world game I wound up looking for a button to call in an airstrike when things started getting worrying.
Ah, Mercenaries.
And I was always sad when I couldn't find it.
It is a shame, really. Every open world game should have at least artillery. So was it Mercenaries 1 or 2?
I own Mercenaries 1. I've been thinking about buying 2.
1 honestly is better in every way except for the graphics, sadly.
Well, it looks like the UI was a bit better in 2.
Well, I think that's basically a side effect of game evolution, really. But yeah, I still prefer the first game.
My issue with the first game was that you could only have one support action on your little list on the side at a time.
That is true, but on the other hand, you could also cheat to get airstrikes for free.
Oh, yes. You mean using the glitch or just legit cheating?
The glitch, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I once called in so many artillery strikes, I believe I crashed the game.
The only way to play, I was about to say.
Let's see. That must be my computer. Thought your stream had frozen, but I guess not.
Twitch has been having a bit of trouble lately. They're trying to keep up with the SDA marathon is the thing.
Well, bringing up the thing with the dialogue differences, it's more so that you just understood different factions when they talk to each other. He's talking about the different characters.
Can I help you?
See, let's enlist this pawn. Because, see, when we went off to fight the Griffin in the last episode, one of my pawns mysteriously disappeared.
That being...
She probably fell off the tower and died, without me realizing.
What do you mean by pawn?
A pawn is basically an NPC party member. They are part of a people that exists in the void beyond, and their souls are intrinsically, basically connected to the... Whoa, here's an asshole. To the Arisen, that is the main character.
I am he who sets the world first. We are the nameless.
Ouch. It seems that we've run into a unique spawn. I was not entirely prepared for that.
A bunch of asshole orcs.
Unique bandits, it seems.
There's no way we could have lost to that. Is that all you have for me? Very well. That was a waste of time.
So, okay. They all had names and they introduced themselves, but they were apparently the Nameless Men.
Oh, that seems almost like a Monty Python joke.
There are a lot of small things like that actually in Dragon's Dogma, just random spawns that appear only at certain times of day and in certain areas, and they're never really explained. It's just, yeah, here's this weird guy. Feel free to fight him, and then once you fought them, there's never an explanation who they were, where they came from, what they wanted, anything.
I like it when games do that. Like in Fallout 3, you can find a room in a bunker that just has plungers everywhere. And footprints leading up the walls with plungers stuck to the ceiling.
An experiment in upwards mobility that ended in tragedy.
And also a lot of blood in that room.
Oh dear.
It is a good source of plungers if you chose to shoot them out of your shit-shooting gun.
That's all. Barely worth the effort.
By which I mean the... crap, what was it called? Someone in the chat, remind me.
Yeah, what the heck was it called? I honestly can't remember any. Either the Launch-O-Matic something?
The rocket launcher. With a hyphen in it.
Ah, yeah, right, the rocket launcher. There you go. Now, if you're wondering why I am trying so desperately to fight these things myself, it's because phantoms are immune to physical damage. So my little associates here can't actually do anything.
Really, there's no way you can make them tangible?
Nope. What you can do, however, is get possessed by them, and if they are possessing a character and you strike that character, they take a certain amount of damage.
But you wind up killing that character too, don't you?
Yep. So that is a, shall we say, less than effective method.
That reminds me, and my friend linked me a thing about Ocarina of Time, like the other day. It was basically just a big article talking about Deku Nuts, an item that pretty much no one ever uses. Apparently it has a bunch of useful effects that you can use it for. Like, at some point in the game you fight a bunch of ghosts, and by throwing down a Deku Nut they become tangible again.
Huh. Well, there you go.
Like, part of their attack cycle is to turn invisible.
I had no idea.
And also they can, like, destroy projectiles in flight.
That's why you should always bring nuts, I guess.
What is that glowing thing?
That would be skeletons rising from their graves to attack us.
Ooh, buried people way out here. This isn't a graveyard, is it?
No, they just appear semi-randomly in certain areas.
This has more in common with Zelda than I thought. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick.
Feel free. I'll take this chance to apologize to the viewers that I'm basically running around and middle of nowhere in the middle of the night trying to fight boring enemies, but the thing is that I'm trying to get to a place where we will come up against a slightly neater enemy at least to fight. Which should be in this direction, I believe. There is a lot of exploring to do in this game, basically. Because large swaths of the map you don't actually ever visit in any quests, unless you look really carefully. So exploring a bit on your own can actually be quite rewarding. It is also almost necessary if you want to find some of the large monster spawns, because they tend to hide out in the middle of nowhere. Manticores, for example, are not really urban creatures.
We have triumphed. Quite enough about it. That's all. Barely worth the effort.
There, Master! Skeletons!
There's no way we could have lost to that.
Did it!
I'll have nightmares from that one.
Maintain a careful distance.
They rampage indiscriminately.
Let's gather them.
You mean a skeleton?
I'll take that.
What's that?
Things seem to be progressing rather well so far.
A white wolf. We'll be red soon enough.
Hello, hey, direwolves. That's good, because we actually have a quest to kill direwolves, don't we?
Tis not working. Tis fast. Be wary of it.
Useless.
That was a waste of time.
Tis more bloodthirsty than a wolf.
My Gruber keeps throwing firecrackers at the wolves. I'm not entirely sure if that's helping.
That's all. Barely worth the effort.
But it's his thing, so I guess I shouldn't complain.
There's noble fruit. There, Master. Snow harpies.
This cold is a far cry from Cassidus's climb, no doubt.
You enjoying your murder-based economy there?
Sure am. Whoa, hello. A zombie with a giant hammer all of a sudden.
I'll take that.
And here is another camp in North Face Forest.
I see you have a button there that says sheath, but how exactly do you sheath a massive staff?
He just puts it on his back and it magically sticks. Like in most games.
Tis weak to fire.
Who would ask an old man to put down his walking stick?
Yeah, that's not nice, is it?
It's not like he's a wizard or anything.
Fire works well.
There are quite a few just little camps and such littered around the entire world map, so you can find all kinds of stuff. Now, the loot you get in chests is also semi-random, which means that there are a certain basically type of item that will appear. And it is entirely possible to find rather rare items like weapons if you're just lucky enough.
That was effective.
That is also why I'm sneaking about up here, because I believe that one of the entrances to a rather interesting area can be found here, if I'm not entirely mistaken.
So I'm assuming your allies there heal themselves automatically.
If they have health restoration items, yes. In the case that they don't, well, you'll just have to hand them over or use a healing spell. But the problem is that I'm playing the sorcerer that doesn't actually have healing spells. He's all about wrecking shit instead. But silly enough is that if a pawn is brought down, you can just walk over and press circle to get them back on their feet, and that recovers roughly 40% of their health. So most of the time it's actually more effective to just let them get smacked around and killed, and then you just tell them to get back up.
The co-op third-person shooter method.
Yep.
Flood in from the mountains.
T-Shift is in the chat making up words. Talking about Neil Stevenson. Stevenson? Like, how do I even pronounce that? Reamed? Reamedy?
Knows not what I know, or know not.
How come my dad has no eyebrows?
His hair all migrated down to his beard.
How tragic. Oh, is your non-existent heart aching?
Yep.
You see me, yes?
Because we're at a bit of a plot twist area here, you see.
You have found the man you seek. I am, or was, perhaps like you, a child of man, bound to the dragon. Well met, young Arisen. I am he who was forged by the dragon.
This gentleman is the Dragon Forged. And he lives in a cave.
I feel like... oh. That's a very large drawing.
Yes, it is, and it's a drawing that we've actually visited in the past, because I was up there grabbing a free weapon. Now, the first thing you should do when visiting here is that you should grab everything that the Dragon Forged own, like this bronze idol, for example, and if... let's see if I can quite remember how to get down there. I think it's over here. You can head downstairs a bit, and presto!
And he doesn't care?
He does not give a single fuck.
Dragon Forged are much lamer than War Forged.
Basically, the Dragon Forge has been sitting around up here for quite a while. And he, like us, was once an Arisen. Basically someone who has been chosen by the dragon. The Dragon Forged, however, chose to abandon his quest for reasons that will not become apparent until way later in the game.
I'm assuming the quest has you I'm assuming the quest has you do something shitty.
Not really, actually.
Okay, then maybe he's just lazy.
That's partly it, actually. And now it is revealed that Duke Edmund, the Great Wormslayer, was actually an Arisen before us, so the Duke was also an Arisen. The Dragon Forge is not entirely sure how the Duke beat the dragon, nor are we at the moment.
I bade him follow his instinct, same as I have bidden you.
Overflight compliments the chair. And Rigged says it is a dragon chiseled chair.
That it is.
And
Now,
T-Shift just posted a wall of text.
and of course we have the Fool, which is the Dragon Forged's main pawn that will basically stick around the Dragon Forged for as long as the Dragon Forged is alive, which, as we will learn later and have probably surmised already, is quite a while. Because as long as the dragon is still alive, the Arisen basically just sticks around as well. And as the Dragonford mentions that the dragon was not slain by Duke Edmund, actually, it was only turned away, which was at least 20 years ago, so... The Dragonforge has probably been sitting on that chair for at least 40 years. In any case, as you have probably noted, there is a lot of small loot to fetch here. Lots of free stuff that can be really handy later on. But as we have not yet actually gotten the quest to go speak to the Dragonforged, he will not actually progress the story any. So we are just going to say thank you and head out. If you return here at various basically phases in the game, he will have some more plot-related trivia and general information that you can pick up. He's basically that mysterious sage character that actually knows everything but doesn't tell you anything and you're too stupid to ask.
There's something drawn on the hill.
So, you got a quest is what you're saying.
Pretty much. Oh, hello, I see a cyclope. Let's go bother him.
What's he doing besides being a shepherd? That's what Cyclops do, right? Herd sheep and eat them.
Yeah, I mean, historically they did. But I'm not entirely sure that this guy's into that sort of stuff. Let's see, let's refill our lantern so that we can actually get some light up in here. There we go. Now, oh, there we go. Oh, he's jumping. He's jumping and skipping and he's the happiest little cyclope in the world. Alright guys, let's wreck him. Please stop him before he actually smashes me into a pulp.
Cyclops looks like he's part walrus. Maybe part elephant. Oh dear.
This is, yeah, on high bow light, if you haven't already realized, is pretty great.
You're basically poaching Cyclops tusks. What a monster.
Ow. I completely wrecked the harpy, sorry, cyclope, and then a single harpy just knocks me down.
I'll set its wings ablaze.
How silly.
Beware the hot song. I have it.
Sort of hard to hit too, the bastards.
Seal the blood to ice.
There we go. Well, that went well, didn't it? Cyclopes are basically the weakest of the large monsters, and they're everywhere after a certain point. You just run into them every time you go outdoors, more or less.
I'll take that.
These red things all over the ground.
Those were beast steaks, and these are apples. Now, apparently the Arisen is not terribly picky about what he eats, because you can basically get beast meat from pretty much every sort of monster you kill.
But can you get it from people?
Sadly no, though he will pick up necrophagus loins from slain zombies.
Ugh.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure why you would grasp the loin of a zombie and just rip it loose and put it in your pack, but the Arisen has peculiar interests, I suppose. Let's see, let's put away that lantern now that it's actually getting to be day. Have a look around. Now, I have mentioned this in the past in passing, but let's bring it back up again, that this entire stretch of sea here, all water basically, connected to the sea, is filled of a horrific microorganism called the brine that eats you alive.
Oh, that's great.
So you are not actually allowed to touch the water because it pulls you down and just devours you.
In other words, they did not want to program swimming animation.
Bingo! Whoa, that direwolf just took off running. What is he doing?
Ellis Thor wants to know, are harpies the cliff racers of this game?
I think wolves are probably the cliff racers of this game, but they sort of share that spot with harpies, honestly. They're roughly as annoying.
Wolf hanging out by itself.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what... Oh, hello. No, there's some more down there. Question is whether we should actually bother with them at all.
It's a dire wolf.
Well, we have a quest to slay dire wolves, so I guess we should just get on with it.
You're basically just killing a bunch of dogs, huh?
Really, really big dogs, though.
Dogs can't get that large normally. It's within the realm of possibility for a dog to be that large.
And we leveled up. Good times.
Hey, did you just give that one?
More or less.
Barely worth the effort.
Right, let's check our map, because I'm curious about whether or not we can access a certain point now, or if it's not until later. Because there are a lot of places you can visit in this game, despite the map not being terribly big. So I'm really curious if maybe we could head over there. Zoom out a bit. There we go. We have the Shadow Fort, of course, the Ancient Quarry, the Witchwood, etc. And of course you'll remember the great trip we took to the Blue Moon Tower the other day that took hours upon hours. Let's not do that again. Right, what I'm doing at the moment is basically just wrecking some animals and getting stuff to sell so that we can afford to grab ourselves some Wakestone shards, because we need a Wakestone. Wakestone is basically a resurrection item. If you have one in your inventory, it is automatically used when you die so that you are brought back to life, but you can also use it to resurrect NPCs. And according to what I learned during the last stream, there is an NPC that I thought you could either kill or just let escape, but apparently you can kill him and then resurrect him. And he will actually be put in prison for his crimes.
But he already had the death penalty.
Listen to those pawns yelling "help me" while I am being gnawed in the groin by a wolf. Seriously, priorities here, people.
I have nightmares from that one. Proceed with caution, Master. There may be wolves about.
Let's see then, is this the place I'm looking for? I'm going to have to check the map, I think. Let's see, right, that's that little place up there. I think there's something up there. Well, except for those stones that automatically fall down to crush us when we're And for some reason UK decided to run straight at them, because she likes getting crushed by rocks, you see.
The grade is steep, Master. Mind you don't slip.
Friendly AI.
Yep.
I was playing Red Faction Guerrilla last night, and friendly guerrillas have a tendency to run in front of your car as you're driving.
That's always great fun.
We have triumphed.
See, lots of harpies here, but not what I thought would be here. It's unfortunate. Oh, wait. Go, let's open this thing up. There we go, a jewel of silence. Not really the most important item in the world, it's actually sort of useless for us, but it sells at a decent price, and that's pretty much what our concern is at the moment, because we need a bit of a war chest. We have lots of equipment that I have promised to purchase later on, so I need to have the money for that as well.
What's this?
Oh, hello.
Master, a snow harpy.
A magical spawning sarcophagus. What could that contain, I wonder? Oh, a jewel of darkness.
What is that exactly?
It creates a field of darkness, same way that the Jewel of Silence basically casts silence spells. They're basically one-shot spell items for non-caster classes.
Oh, I was thinking of it as a reverse road flare.
When you desperately need some shadows to hide in.
Yes.
Don't let them drag you off! It's within striking range! Did it!
I'm guessing this is for PS3.
For PS3 and 360, yes. Though I am personally playing on the PS3, as you can probably tell by the legend in the lower right corner. Let's see. I can cast Bow Light without these hobgoblins realizing I'm here. Oh, looks like I've been spotted. Probably a bit late for you assholes, though, at this point.
It's kind of hard to sneak around as a, 8 foot tall dude.
Yeah, sort of. So it has worked pretty well so far. Now, well, it's sort of difficult to catch it in the midst of combat. Goblins actually speak the same language you do, though a bit more roughly. So you can actually hear them speak both to you and each other and keep track of what they're planning and doing.
Do they have Cockney accents?
Sadly, no. They are not orcs. Oh, hello. Is that a direwolf? Stuck in the ground for some reason. What is that direwolf doing? Oh, he was walking into an item that had not actually spawned into the game vault. There you go. That explains it. And did you just actually use an ice attack against an ice enemy? You silly archer, you.
That was a waste of time.
It's not working.
Well, duh.
Do they actually learn from that?
Yes, they do, actually. All your pawns have basically an experience level for every kind of enemy in the game. And as they fight them more, they sort of learn what to use, when to use it, and how best to get at the bastards.
We know not what's inside. A white wolf. It will be red soon enough.
But I assume they don't have the basic intelligence to use a fire spell against an ice strike.
Not to start with, sadly. They sadly need to figure that out. After casting a few ice balls and everything going, it has no effect! Pawns are basically morons, is the thing.
For being in the middle of the woods, this grass is rather short. It's like someone went through here with the mower a few weeks ago.
I think that is the work of these boars. And the deer, of course. This is also pretty much the only area in the game that spawns deer. So if you ever get a quest to grab deer meat or something, this is where you'll need to go.
Do deer actually run away from you like in real life, or can you just walk up to them and punch them to death?
They do run away if you get too close. Now here's another interesting thing, actually. This is a healing spring, which is absolutely amazing. And most interestingly, if you have empty flasks along, you can fill them, and they automatically become health potions.
And the town isn't built around it, is what you're saying.
Yep. For some reason.
You think this would be the sort of thing a town would build itself around and then completely drain?
Yeah, I mean, if you could just bottle health potions by going outside with an empty flask and just picking that shit up, you'd sort of have a feeling that someone would use that.
I'm guessing this doesn't have the nanobots in it that kill you.
I doubt it.
The brine, as you called it.
Yep. The brine only exists in salt water, which is perhaps not too surprising.
I'm guessing there's no rivers deep enough for you to swim in, though.
Nope. That over there is an armored cyclope. I wonder what he's doing here.
Are people in metal armor weak to lightning?
No, actually. The thing about armor is basically that if you hit armor, you basically bounce off instead of doing any damage. So you need to blast off armor somehow with either heavy attacks or spells before you can put it to good work.
That's kind of interesting, I guess. Does this mean you have to knock someone's armor off if you're using a mace?
No, maces and other blunt weapons actually do plenty of damage even against armor. They do keep track of that. Personally though, I find it most interesting that if you jump onto a armored cyclope and climb up on its head, it will actually take off its helmet to get at you.
I was hoping you were going to say it'd start hitting itself in the head with its club.
That would have been amusing, but sadly, no.
I'm guessing you can't set the club on fire.
No, but sometimes they actually arrive with clubs that are already on fire.
So you're just hanging out there.
Now he's mad. Can't leg it. Basically, if you break off a Cyclope's tusk, it will get awfully angry with you, because they love their tusks. At that point, you need to leg it.
You're basically poaching them.
Sort of, I suppose.
And did he just completely miss you with his glove?
Yes, he did, and I walked between his legs. Feel free to actually attack the guy. Seriously.
Archer there looks like he's shooting multiple arrows at once.
That he is.
That's pretty boss.
So, let's target his arm for a bit, and hopefully we'll be able to knock off the armor. And then we can knock that club out of his hand, because that club is a problem. Oh, there we go. The helmet is off at least, it seems. Oh goodness, we're doing damage. Holy crap. I'm not entirely sure what caused all that damage, but it went very, very well.
Someone learned how to fight them.
And now he's fallen over into fire. That's
It's that
always
guy
great.
that was over there wailing on its nads.
Might have been it. And there we go. Let's see, we have 2 eyes.
What's that?
The Cyclope dropped 2 misshapen eyes. Every time that happens, I get just a little bit annoyed.
He has a, a spare on him.
It's like
Just
that.
in case.
It's like that scene in Hot Shots when he says, "I've got my father's eyes," and it opens a little box, and he actually has his father's eyeballs along with him. Only in the case of the Cyclope, it's "I have my father's eye," and he has it back in his pocket. Just shoved right down there. But
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure during people in the chat are talking about cliff racers still.
Ah, goodness. I
And
mentioned.
racism against cliff racers. Cliff racism.
Ho ho, there we go. They sort of deserve it, though. Oh hey, Saurians. Let's see if we can hit the tail. Now, Saurians are sort of interesting in this game, because as long as their tail is attached, they take basically no damage whatsoever from the front. But if you knock their tail off, they suddenly become incredibly vulnerable. It sort of makes no sense.
What type of creature was that?
It's a lizard man, basically. Though they look more like reptilian deep ones. Now, magic is actually a very efficient way to get out these bastards, especially area effect magic, since the tail can take damage no matter where it's hit from.
That is kind of a neat detail that the lizard dude sunbathe.
And there we go, I just maxed out the sorcerer vocation. Hooray!
Now what, you become a warlock?
Sadly no, but it does mean that we now have access to all the spells for purchase. Which means that once we've bought those and tried them out a bit, it's time to switch to a completely different class and try doing something else. Whoa, and I just blasted his tail off. I sort of feel bad for him, he's just on the ground screaming and yelling while being on fire. And then I knock his tail off with a magical projectile. 'Cause I'm a dick like that. Now let's see, what's that over there? Oh goodness. I'm carrying so much stuff now that I can barely run. And being way down also reduces the speed of stamina recovery, which is really, really troublesome. Oh, hello!
Armed bandits arisen. I'll leave the counter
Those were quite a few assholes. Let's see. These seem to be lady bandits. They are basically... There is a misandric and a misogynic bandit band in this game, and they naturally hate one another. So you can get a quest later on to side with one of them and try to wreck the other ones, but... I generally just stay clear of that quest altogether, because it feels sort of...
Shitty.
yeah. You really, you know, you sort of don't want to support either side of that little argument.
And I imagine they get very angry if you mispronounce their name. Mistake them for the other one. They already don't remember the difference between them. Miss Sandrick and Miss something.
Misogynic. Basically, man-hating and woman-hating.
Ah.
It's sort of interesting that they're here, though. They generally hang out in a very different area.
Men's rights activists.
Oh god. Don't even get me started, I was about to say. And I do like that, as you can see, we actually just blew the whole tent open by smacking them. And oh hey! This is where you get the incognito mask. I had no idea. I'd never even found that thing before.
Is that like the stone mask and Majora's Mask?
Sort of. Basically, from what I understand, while you're wearing the incognito mask, the two robber bands don't actually view you as an enemy if you've done the respective quests. Which is really handy, because there are areas later on where you're sort of required to pass through the Lady's Way Castle. So if you're a male player, then they can get really, really annoyed with you. If you're a lady, though, they don't mind at all. Let's see, this feels like something should be hidden here. But probably isn't, is it? No. Well, let's mine some minerals and then we'll head back to the city.
Have you tried mining for fish?
Yep, we are mining for fish with our very, 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 very tiny pickaxe. Seriously, the thing is the size of a hobby hammer. I'm not even entirely sure how it gets the minerals loose. Oh well. Let's see, we have 3 fairy stones. So let's use those. They are basically town portal scrolls in a sense. They are incredibly handy. And there we go.
What if you cross-dress? Will the lady bandits attack you?
Sadly, they can see through your cunning disguise, yes.
Oh,
at least I think so. I've never tried fighting them and then wear the lady dress and go after them. Viewed as an oversight from my end, I suppose. But I never actually even thought to try it. It wouldn't surprise me if it actually turns out that it works, though, because Dragon's Dogma is the sort of game where that sort of thing would work. Sir Henning. Let's see, wait a minute. Acquire 10 parcels. Hell?
Steal, mail packages.
Return them, apparently. Huh. In Soul Flayer Canyon.
I assume you'll find a bunch of dead postal workers.
Well, apparently it was just the one guy, and he got attacked by harpies. And being the big old coward he was, he just ran away.
Oh.
Postman, am I right? Jeez. Alright, let's start by dumping all that shit we've been picking up, because, I mean, holy crap, we have so much shit right now. We have knives, we have skulls, we have dragon spit, we have all kinds of stuff, including 6 festival pies. Why am I carrying around pies?
I wish I could just wander through the woods for a while and pick up like $50 worth of crap.
Ah, if only. Well, many of these things are actually sort of handy. The Veteran's Period, for example, is actually pretty great. It doubles experience gain. Which is amazing. But it's sadly not what we're after at the moment. Now let's see. Did any of you pick up something that you shouldn't have? Yes, you did. You picked up all kinds of neat stuff that actually belongs to me. Oh, you.
Oh, right, I'm supposed to be reading the chat.
Sour ambrosial meat. Nice.
Oh, good, they're just talking about how fat your character is.
Hey! He's not fat, he's just a bit, you know.
Fat.
There we go. We'll put this sour ambrosial meat in an airtight flask, and then we get kept sour ambrosial meat. Which means that it will actually stay sour for the duration of the game. Which is handy, because there's a quest later, I believe, to actually find some sour ambrosial meat, and it's pretty much only griffins that drop ambrosial meat, which is really annoying. In any case, let's see. What sort of spells can we pick up? I want something super impressive, please.
Say Kamehameha spell.
Let's see. High Exequy. That doesn't sound very fun at all. Huh, Petrification, of course. That's pretty neat.
Is there a spell where you just shoot a giant laser?
That is a very good question, actually. Let's grab High Necromancy, that sounds like fun. We can grab Maelstrom as well. Just buy lots of spells. Go crazy with that shit.
Is Maelstrom a water or air attack?
It's a whirlwind attack. Let's see. Oh, hey, for 9,000 discipline we can also buy Articulacy, which reduces the time required to intone any spell. That is actually really handy.
Maelstrom means whirlpool, though.
I know. It's just
Silly.
that video games are dumb. Let's see, you can get proficiency while we're at it. Right, time to switch up our equipped spells a lot. For example, what should we... High Combustion. Let's bring in High Necromancy instead. That sounds more fun. And Petrification, why not? And Maelstrom. There we go. Now we have nothing but damage spells. We are completely useless from a buffing standpoint. That's how it's supposed to
With
be.
a certain amount?
And we got a skull. Great, thanks. We sure needed more skulls. Yes, indeed. I have a freaking inventory worth of skulls. I have so many skulls. I don't even know what to do with them all.
Take all the time you like.
And let's buy some health restoratives while we're at it. Very worth bringing along. Actually, come to think of it, let's buy even more. Let's just bring shitloads of potent green verish, because that stuff is handy. We do actually have the money to spare for once as well.
Take all
Right,
the time.
there we go. Next step, figuring out why we are heavy. We are probably carrying way too many things.
You have a box to put your things in.
That we do. Luckily we have a box right here.
Wait, were you carrying skulls?
Hey, don't knock it if you haven't tried it. Have some skulls jingling in your pocket, bro.
Can you make a throne out of them?
Sadly, no. I don't think you can do much of anything with them, actually.
You can't carve them into things.
No.
You can't wear one on your head like a weirdo.
No. It's pretty crap, I realize. What the hell?
You can't grind it up to make bread.
Oh hey, we have a golden egg. Shit, we should probably put that in an airtight flask, I realize.
Yes, because that'll prevent it from, going bad.
It does, actually, somehow.
Let's put an airtight container into an airtight container.
Yep.
Is it at least filled with bubble wrap?
I don't think so, sadly. What really confuses me, though, is if the egg is made out of gold, why would it rot?
What will it be today?
Well, does it heal you if you eat it?
It actually restores full health and stamina, since this is a Capcom game.
That might be a Resident Evil reference, I don't know.
Yes, it is.
What will it be today? Have your pick. What do you like?
Right.
This here I was going to make a Resident Evil joke, and turns out the game makers already did it.
Yep. Alright, you know what? I'm going to ask for a 2-minute break. People don't mind. I have something I need to take care of, but I will be right back.
Okay. Guess I can play some music then.
Dig my hole, you build a wall. I dig my hole, you build a wall.
There we are, pardon the interruption. Let's just get right back into it.
That was not 2 minutes.
I'm terribly sorry.
Also, it turns out that my mic feedback actually does play music through the stream.
There you go. Let's see. Oh, hey! The magical money in the fountain has respawned.
Basically, if I use the inline mute on my headphones, it plays back in the YouTube video I'm looking at. But I still don't know why.
Very curious. Right then, while we're in the town, let's head down and check something out. Because there is a store that is supposed to open later in the game. But despite my best efforts, I've never been able to actually get it to open. Let's see. Oh, there we go. It's actually open now.
Hail arisen, looking dour as ever I see. I've a proposal that might put some cheer in those cheeks.
I don't know if you can tell, but I basically didn't sleep.
Well, it's like this.
You do sound a little bit tired, I have to admit. Have you been watching the SDA marathon, perhaps?
On my own part, being both and beautiful, I've little trouble keeping an inventory. But contentment leads to
Just been
failure,
having trouble
so I
sleeping.
seek new weaponsmiths to supply my shop.
Well, I've learned apparently that my voice is really good for putting people to sleep, so find one of my more boring videos and play it in the background.
A man of singular
You'll be in dreamland before you realize it.
Much as you, the smith refuses audience with all but select clients. And upon such clients he bestows an idol, so as to prove his favour. If I can recover such a figurine, I would have singular right to peddle his wares in these parts. There is no...
Right, blah 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 blah. She wants us to bring her an idol, same as the weaponsmith does. Basically, depending on what material the idol is made out of, they get an improved inventory with all kinds of stuff. Now, getting the gold idol can only be done once every game, and is sort of tricky. So you're probably not going to get that one done. Silver idols, though, are fairly plentiful, as are bronze idols. It says, let's just go, a red long kilt, you say?
What?
Blue and red long kilts. This red long kilt would actually quite a decent upgrade.
As if we're doing lawn work.
Exactly. The thing is that Madeleine base...
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I thought you said lawn.
The lawn kilt. It's green and carefully camouflaged. You can take a break without people realizing. Good lord, I'm carrying a lot of stuff. But yeah, Madeleine basically sends magic and female items. Just lady gear. While Caxton, the weaponsmith, and yes, his name is Caxton, I know, sells weapons for warriors. Stop by Madeleine's place if you actually need, if you're a magic class and you're looking for equipment, because Caxton doesn't really like you. He only likes people with swords and armor and wearing lots of metal, because that's just the kind of guy he is.
I can respect that.
It should be noted, though, that Caxton still is the only person who can actually upgrade equipment, which means that even if you want to upgrade a magician's robes, Caxton is still the man to go to. So apparently he's fine with working on them, he just doesn't want to make them. Caxton is a silly person.
I assume he has a forge and such. So how exactly does he work on fabric?
It's sort of...
Does he have like a sewing kit in the back?
I suppose, because he does have a bit of a back room, and I suppose that's where he keeps most of his stuff, because there is no visible forge in the weapon store itself. Right, let's head up to the castle, because I want to see if perhaps Fornival has a Wakestone shard to sell us. Because with 3 in our inventory we would get a whole Wakestone, and then we could go off and actually start working on that quest we have. Let's see, Fornival should be in his home. Ah, there you are. Oh goodness, no, I don't want to do this. Look, I don't want to do this quest right now. Oh, jeez, fine.
Is that like a fat Hulk Hogan?
Yup. Now see, this is the quest that gives you the golden idol, because if you escort her just right, do everything perfectly, she gives you the gold idol. If you fail in any way, which you will not know that you have done until the end of the quest, you get a flask of water instead.
Wow.
And this is the only way in the game to get the gold idol, and you only get one shot at it, because hello and welcome to autosaves. Ha 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 ha.
I'm not what successful manner. Still, we've done
Right. Well, will you please open up the store for me?
all.
Oh jeez, never mind. Fine. Guess we'll have to find that wakestone shard somewhere else, but I'm not entirely sure where. How am I supposed to source that thing, damn it?
It's nice how everyone has a door frame tall enough for you.
But only just. The heck are you wearing, lady? So where else could we perhaps purchase a wakestone shard? Maybe you sell some.
Take all the time you like.
I sincerely doubt it, but let's take a look. No.
Take all the time you like, Duke.
Well, that's a damn shame. Really want that wakestone shard.
What does this shard do exactly?
If you collect 3, you get a full wakestone, and it's the wakestone that we are actually after.
And what's that do?
It is the resurrection item that I spoke of earlier.
Ah, I see.
Now, wakestone shards can be found here and there. It's not really the sort of item that you will find on demand.
There's a gathering space in mind.
Now, where shall we head?
So I suppose we can go off and do something completely different for now. Such as head to Soulflay Canyon, for example, which is an area that I didn't actually ever visit the first time I beat the game.
Tomfoolery says, I thought you bought 3 already last stream. Did you?
If I did, that progress must have not been saved, because I...
Grand Sorin,
Wait, what?
heart of all Gransys.
What?
Oh, okay, I just failed the quest to get the gold idol automatically. Great. Well,
What?
fuck this noise,
Why?
I guess. Because I left the town.
You can't reload.
Nope. Because it's already saved twice, and you only have an autosave slot.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
So yeah, if you ever wanted that gold idol and was stupid enough to think that you would be allowed to leave the city, well, fuck you. Ha 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 ha. Video games. Right, let's check our map. See if I can remember how to actually get to Soulflay Canyon from here. I suppose that we could take this path. So I don't think we can enter it from the other end right now. So somewhere over there, I suppose. Over in this here direction, where there is an awful lot of area that we are yet to visit. I want to remove that waypoint. Thank you. Let's see. Yep, that's probably going to have to be it, I think. Right, off we go. Hopefully we will find something to cast our new big bad spells at.
Still, we best stay wary.
Looking forward to that. There's actually 1 or 2 spells here that I've never actually seen before, because I played an assassin most of my playing time in my first game.
A bridge will serve as a fine landmark.
Oh, hello. The hell? Why is there a cockatrice here?
Presumably these guys killed its ass.
Well and dead. In truth, it was quite fortuitous to stumble on such a creature freshly fallen.
Or maybe they just found it.
And apparently it just fell from the sky too.
What say you, Arisen?
Maybe it was hit by a plane.
'Twas I what found it, though I'll claim no glory in the beast's death. Seems the makers at last taken note of all my good deeds.
I have never actually happened upon this before. And here's the thing. I know, plot spoilers, that this cockatrice is not actually dead. It's just plain... It's actually playing possum. So it will wake up later and cause all kinds of havoc in the city.
So no one thought to gut it or anything.
Yeah, just cut its fucking head off or something. Seriously, if I found a crashed cockatrice, the first thing I would do was sever that head, because hell no, I ain't leaving that thing to wake up and suddenly look at me. Also, murder all rabbits. Air kill. Now to check the map to make sure that I'm not doing this horribly wrong. No. No, everything is in order. Very good. But yeah, apparently the first time I played that game, as well as the second time I played through the game, I must have completely missed that. I suppose it appears there randomly if you are this far along, basically, in the questline. Alright, let's see. We're gonna blow you away. And off he goes! Welp.
We must be cautious.
I think he left his tail behind. Wow, okay. Apparently it was harsh enough that it actually ripped his tail off. Wow.
Rude. Oh, oops.
Let's see, let's cast some high necromancy and see what we get. Ow. Beaten in the arse, I suppose. Someone please handle that thing while I cast my spell, thank you.
It begins.
Oh, shit.
Wow, okay. Was that it?
Physics.
Apparently that was it.
Why is that lizard man invisible?
Huh.
Rather, why was he invisible?
Saurians, at least the kind that live outdoors, have the ability to become invisible for whatever reason. It's never explained, they just can.
It can't be like chameleon-like, because their weapon changes too.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what's up with this necromancer thing. I mean, nothing really happened. They did one attack, I guess. Maybe they only work at night.
I'll fell it in a single blow.
Do you want me to look it up?
If you have the time and inclination to do so, yes, I would appreciate that a great deal, actually. But I know if I'm doing something wrong or not. See, I wonder what sort of range this old maelstrom thing has.
The first strike shall be mine.
And yoo-hoo! And off they go! Oh, you can actually bounce them.
We must be cautious.
Okay, I think that's all the evidence we need that Maelstrom is absolutely
Let's
hilarious.
see. Allows you to summon the souls of the dead around your character to fight for you for a limited time. So I guess you need to be near dead things.
Because I do get the black little things, but they disappear pretty much right away, and they don't really seem to do much damage when they attack. Not entirely sure what's up with that. Still, this went well. A single maelstrom just wrecked the entire camp and killed everything in it. Wait, what? It's slime? What are you talking about? What are you fighting over there?
Although I'm looking for the giant laser spell.
If you do find one, let me know. There are a lot of Saurians just gallivanting about over here.
There's never one for hiding spots in the forest.
Now let's see. Not entirely incorrect. I might be, of course. No, it's not there. It's further on.
Stay vigilant, Master. It is said a band of thieves prowls this region. Armed rogues!
See if we can get that petrification spell to work. Didn't really do anything last time.
I like that this wiki has a short video for each spell. Shows them petrifying an ox.
That's not nice. Why would you do that? I guess it's a good target since it doesn't fight back, but still, that's a bit mean, isn't it?
Oh dear. If a pawn dies from petrification and cannot be revived unless returned to the rift.
Huh. Well, there you go.
A set amount of time to cure them before they break and die.
Here we are in good old Cursewood.
They're armed, Master.
And in Cursewood there is a cyclope. Just circumvent that asshole.
It is a far different crime from the capital. Perhaps it bears novel fruit.
Now let's see. Isn't it up hereabouts?
Armed rogues! Counter after they strike! Is that all?
Very well.
There's a lightning whip spell.
Yep, we used that quite extensively in the past, actually. Sort of fun, but it's also sort of difficult to use effectively. I'm just getting wrecked by arrows here while my pawns do nothing to help me. Why are you so terrible at actual combat? Jeez.
That's all. I'll have nightmares from that one.
Embarrassing.
I'll go very well.
Now let's see. Isn't it up hereabouts? I really shouldn't be asking this out loud, since I'm pretty sure no one actually knows, but... still.
Take them down! Armed bandits have risen.
Ah, here it is, I think.
Yes, what are you asking?
I'm just trying to remind myself where the entrance to the Soulflare Canyon is, but I think I found it. I've actually never been to Soulflare Canyon with company. I was usually playing a lone assassin character with no pawns when I was adventuring here. Right, here we are, the Soulflare Canyon.
This canyon links the capital with the west of Gransys.
It's actually a pretty interesting place. And it's so hard to actually find your way here that they give you a trophy just for entering. Now then. We're here to find parcels. I have no idea what said parcels look like.
What's that?
Nor have I any idea where they are.
I need to use the bathroom.
Feel free. Oh goodness. I should let the viewers know that this is actually one of those places that it is sort of nasty to be grabbed by a harpy, because as long as you are not on the very clearly defined walkways, if you fall you are pretty much guaranteed to die. And harpies love grabbing you, then flying just a few feet off to one edge and just drop you, and there you go. The hell are you targeting?
What's this?
Getting sort of dark, so let's switch on our lantern while we're at it.
I'll take that. We must find another path.
I've learned of this area. Snow harpy!
So wait, hold on. Wow, my Gruber is dead! Huh. Well then.
I wonder what's inside.
Another life is claimed by pawns being useless. Holy crap. So he actually just fell down somewhere without a sound and disappeared. Well, MacGruber, good on you. Good on you. Holy crap. Now, if you reach this area at night, it is completely filled with phantoms, but apparently they opt for sulfur-saurians when it's daylight. That's actually... Oh wait, there's a phantom here as well. Let's get away from the cliffside then. Ah yes, these are even the upgraded phantoms, if I'm not entirely misremembering. So these guys actually use lightning attacks as well while they're at it. Oh, I was standing on a spider. Jeez, that was causing me concern.
Swords are useless. Insolence.
There we go. Oh. They apparently drop astrocyte shards. That must be a fairly rare drop. I'm not entirely sure if I ever got some from those guys before.
This looks interesting.
We still haven't found a single parcel. Which is sort of annoying. And as usual, there's no way to just reset the lantern. You have to actually take it off and put it back on.
Tis far stronger than the common goblin. Of course. Very well. That sent it reeling.
Do we have any parcels in here, maybe?
Please, run it down.
No, just another giant coin pooch. I'm not complaining, it's just that I sort of wish that we would find the quest items already.
Get no quarter.
Oh, did Gruber die while I was gone?
Yeah, he just was gone all of a sudden, so apparently he fell off a ladder or something and didn't make a sound while doing so.
So you couldn't revive him?
No. I can bring him back if I head into the rift, but whoa! There aren't really any rift access points here. And here we have fresh phantoms just appearing out of nowhere, as they are wont to do.
Yeah, it's a phantom, it's what they do.
Let's try and use high necromancy now and see if we can actually bring something in. That would be sort of neat. Right, so we have some badass skulls following us. Let's see if they will actually attack our enemies. Let go of A. There we go.
Draws the life from its host.
Is that fireball working out for you?
It's a bit too slow, I realized. See, here's a big old chest. And then it is another giant coin pooch. What's with all the money we're finding? I want parcels, damn it. Yet I'm not complaining here about free money. I'm complaining that we're not finding what I want to find.
Big sack of money with a $sign on it. That's what it turns out the parcel is.
It was not actually a parcel at all, it was just treasure. It was delivering money. Let's see, this is one of those if you're actually... Yes, sorry, just like that, if you walk down, you slide down and can't get back up. Thank you for demonstrating. Pawns. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Oh, goodness gracious. But yeah, I was just about to say that we're not supposed to go down there because if we do, we can't actually get back up. And the very moment I started talking, Sari just ran down there. But hey, she actually managed to find a way back up. Excellent work. And yes, I agree, Sari, that was a complete waste of time. Why would you do that? You are a silly Billy. So how about here then? Parcels? No, just an giant coin pouch. That's 30,000 gold so far, just lying around in chests. So far we have 0 parcels. Wait, what's this? Oh. Pilgrim's Charm.
So, does this place actually connect anywhere?
The canyon itself, you mean?
Yes.
Yes, you can open at different exits on the other end of the area, and you can actually access it from that point on.
I'm just wondering why the postman went through this place.
That is an excellent question, one that I am very unlikely to ever be able to answer.
I think he just hates his job.
He wanted to get rid of those parcels.
Have a hold on it, quickly! Hold it still while I finish it.
Also, you seem to be on fire.
That I am.
A hobgoblin arisen.
Not much I can do about it at the moment. Don't worry, it'll put itself out. I am wearing fire retardant clothing.
They grow frenzied.
Right. Sorry, please stop trying to push me off. That's not very nice.
What's become of the offer?
Oh goodness. And here's the 5th journal entry. I think I already have the last entry. It's part of a quest for a girl's father that just disappeared off. Or is it a boy? No, it's a guy's father, that's the thing. And if you find all of them and bring them to him,
What's that?
he will be happy to learn what became of his father, because he always thought that his father just abandoned him and his mother, but nope, turns out that he went out on an adventure to find vengeance.
And got his ass killed.
Yep. You think he would actually, tell his child and wife that, I'm not just going off because I feel like it, I actually have a decent reason. Now let's see, I wonder what will happen if we use Maelstrom on that Cyclope. Will he fly off? Maybe he'll fall off and die. That would
Dumb
be
reason, but a
That would be
reason.
hilarious. Let's go for it.
Snatch up any tusks you break free.
Well, he's not falling, but holy shit is that doing damage. God damn. Wow. He is being wrecked. God damn. That was hilarious.
You did just summon a tornado on him.
And here he comes, and he's angry. Whoa! Hello! Okay.
I cannot even see what you're... Oh, it's
That could have ended
Cyclops.
really badly.
could not even see the Cyclops you were hitting.
I think he ran off. See if we can relight that lantern so we have any idea where we are and what we're doing. Your kid, on the other hand, was apparently wrecked. And by the looks of it, she actually fell into a completely different area. How the hell? That is impressive in its own way, but...
Tis mad with rage.
And yes, your kid, I know that you are unlikely to be able to move, but... Just hold on a moment, will you? Yeah, shut up, you big lunk.
Cannot hold the weapon with an injured hand.
There's no way we could have lost to that.
Okay, now let's see, where the hell did you end up? I don't even know where she is.
My consciousness
Seriously.
fades.
I realized that she was probably smacked off, but where did you land? Somewhere down there. Right, well, I can't actually get down to where you are, so you're just going to have to live with it. Or die with it, as the case may be. Well, on we go.
Master, a snow harpy! Fire their wings!
How long was I out?
Not terribly long. A few minutes at most.
Okay. I probably didn't actually fall asleep, okay.
What the?
Restore a bit of health.
Sorry, did you just throw an explosive barrel at me?
That's pretty clever.
But why would she do such a thing?
Where are there barrels in this place, anyway?
Someone left them behind, I guess?
Really, all those postmen passing through here.
The hundreds of postmen that are here for mysterious reasons, never revealed. See, let's not actually go down there. Instead, let's explore that last bit. I think that's the way to the exit, though.
Hey, did one of your pawns die?
She's fallen. Somewhere where I'm not entirely sure I can even reach her, actually. She got smacked off by the cyclope and fell all the way to the bottom of the area. But I think she's... yeah, she's proper dead now.
It's a odd way of putting it.
Really wanna target that thing. Darn it. Allow me to target the thing. Well, never mind then.
Oh, Bloody Gripples asks if you want to add him.
Want to? Well, that's a bit... Actually, sure, why not? Honestly, jeez. Let's see.
So maybe I can go to sleep. Even though it's only 8 PM here.
Well, if you need to sleep, you need to sleep. That's just how it is. It's not something you should be ashamed of. Let's see. It seems that both him and Fuchs have been wanting something from me. I'm not entirely sure what. So, yeah. Let's pause the stream here for a bit then, and we'll simply switch out our guest a bit. So, let me begin by saying, Concordat, thank you for joining us for this bit at least. These first 2 hours of the further adventures of your dad.
Goodbye.
Hope to see you again.
Certainly.
And Well then, I will just pause the stream then, and we will be right back with a new set of guests.